If I asked you to picture a healthy breakfast for someone with diabetes, what would you see? Maybe a plate with no bread, no fruit, and instead, 3 sizzling pork sausages. That image, right there, is more common than you think. Patients come to me all the time and say, "Doctor, I've cut out sugar, no juice, no bananas. Now I just have eggs and sausage in the morning." That's better. Right. But here's what I ask them. If you remove the sugar but added a slow, burning fire to your body every morning, is that truly better? Let me paint the real picture. Imagine this. A white plate with 3 perfectly browned pork sausages. The smell is savory. The surface glistens with oil. It feels comforting. Even keto. Friendly. Now look closer, not with your eyes, but with your body. Inside each sausage is more than just meat. You're also eating preservatives, sodium nitrite, MSG, and saturated fat. A hidden cocktail that's not listed as sugar on the label but has its own quiet way of damaging your metabolism. Now picture the inside of your blood vessel. Yes, that's right, your artery. After that meal, tiny molecules called free radicals start to float around like sparks. These are unstable chemicals caused by oxidation, and when there are too many of them, they scratch the inner lining of your arteries. Your body senses danger and sends in inflammation to fix it. And that's how a sausage can trigger the same inflammatory response that sugar would, just in a slower, more invisible way. Picture a calm river in early spring. The snow has melted upstream, and the water flows clear and steady. Along the riverbank, a farmer decides to switch his usual irrigation method. Instead of using fresh spring water, he taps into a nearby industrial reservoir. At first, the crops seem fine, perhaps even greener. The soil holds moisture better, and the plants stand tall. But as days pass, subtle changes begin. The leaves curl slightly. The roots weaken. A faint sourness lingers in the air. You see, the reservoir water carried silent burdens, chemical residues, excess salt, and microscopic pollutants. The damage didn't appear in the first few days, it emerged slowly, like a shadow spreading underneath the surface. The plants didn't protest loudly, but their inner systems were faltering. The soil, once rich with microbial life, began to harden. The water didn't flood the field, but it quietly shifted its chemistry, straining the roots and disrupting the delicate balance that kept everything alive. That's exactly what happens inside the human body when you replace a naturally nourishing meal with processed pork sausage. The numbers may look better for a moment, like greener leaves, but the deeper systems, your kidneys, your gut microbiome, your inflammatory balance, begin to suffer. And the worst part, the harm hides behind a calm surface, no dramatic sugar spike. Just a slow unraveling that only becomes visible when the damage has already begun. You see, the harm of processed sausage isn't immediate, it's cumulative. Imagine pouring a teaspoon of salt into a fish tank not all at once, but every morning. The fish doesn't die on day one, but slowly, quietly. The water becomes toxic. That's what repeated exposure to additives like sodium nitrite does inside our bodies, especially in older adults with slower detox systems. Now let's talk visuals again. Think about that sausage's salt content. Just 2 small links can contain up to 600 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly 1/3 of the recommended daily intake for seniors. Stack that with toast, canned soup for lunch, or a dinner with soy sauce, and suddenly your kidneys are overwhelmed. It's like watering your garden with salty water. The plants don't wither immediately, but growth slows. The roots struggle, and things begin to fail silently. And the worst part, sausage doesn't even make you feel good long term. A patient once told me, "Doc, I eat sausage for breakfast and I'm full. But by 11 a.m., I feel like I need a nap." Why? Because processed meats disrupt your gut flora. They reduce beneficial bacteria and encourage growth of those linked with inflammation, insulin resistance, and even depression. That's right. Your breakfast sausage might not just affect your blood sugar. It could be affecting your mood and mental clarity. Let's flip the picture now. On the same white plate, imagine replacing those 3 pork sausages with 2 scrambled eggs, a slice of avocado, and a grilled tomato sprinkled with turmeric. You've just cut your sodium by 80%, eliminated chemical preservatives, and added anti-inflammatory compounds, healthy fats, and vitamins. Or let's say you still want that meaty bite. You make your own turkey sausage patties at home, using ground turkey, garlic, oregano, and fennel seeds. No preservatives, no nitrates. Your kitchen smells amazing, and your body breathes a little easier after eating it. And here's another visual. Take one of those frozen pork sausage packets from the supermarket and hold it in your hand. Now take a ripe peach or a cucumber. One is wrapped in plastic, stamped with chemicals you can't pronounce. The other grew from sunlight and water. Ask yourself, which one looks more alive? Which one do you want becoming part of your cells, your blood, your brain? Still unsure? Let's go even deeper. Inside your pancreas, there are specialized cells called beta cells. They're the ones responsible for making insulin. These cells are delicate, sensitive to inflammation and oxidative stress. Repeated exposure to chemical compounds from processed foods can wear them down over time. Like sandpaper against soft skin. You may not feel it today, but over years, this stress can lead to the very insulin dysfunction that causes type 2 diabetes. And let's not forget the emotional side. Many seniors I work with say they feel like they have to give up all their favorite foods. But what if the goal isn't giving up, just trading up? You're not removing pleasure. You're removing the pain that comes after the pleasure, the brain fog, the bloating, the creeping A1C score, the achy knees. And one final image, a dinner plate with roasted vegetables, a piece of lemon, baked salmon, and a chilled glass of water with fresh mint. That's not deprivation. That's healing disguised as beauty. It's food that works with you, not against you, and it's still delicious. So before you reach for that next sausage link and assume it's safe because it's not sweet, ask yourself, is this healing me or hiding something harmful behind its smoky flavor? After talking about the hidden damage of processed pork sausages, we need to look at what it means to feed the body in a way that supports healing, not just avoids harm. That brings us to a fruit many people with diabetes have been told to fear: melon. But the truth is, this soft, sweet fruit may be one of the most misunderstood tools for natural blood sugar support. Imagine opening your refrigerator in the morning. You're looking for something light, something refreshing. You see a bowl of melon cubes, bright orange or pale green, depending on the type. You pick one up. It's cool to the touch, smooth and firm. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth, mildly sweet and easy to chew. That moment, simple as it seems, sets off a chain of positive reactions inside your body. Melon is more than just taste. It's structured in a way that supports blood sugar control. First, it's extremely hydrating, made up of more than 90% water. But unlike drinking plain water, eating melon brings that fluid into your body with added benefits: potassium, vitamin C, fiber, and antioxidants, all of which your body uses to maintain balance. Let's focus on the sugar content, because that's where most of the fear comes from. Yes, melon is sweet, but that sweetness comes with context. When you eat a piece of melon, you're not just swallowing sugar. You're also taking in fiber, which slows down how quickly that sugar enters your bloodstream. You're also taking in water, which dilutes it naturally. So instead of a sugar spike, you get a gentle rise in energy, steady, manageable, and easy for the body to process. Let's say you're deciding between a cookie and a bowl of melon. The cookie may not seem much sweeter, but it contains processed flour, added sugars, artificial fats, and no fiber to help control absorption. Your blood sugar will spike, then drop, and soon after, you'll feel tired, irritable, or hungry again. Now compare that to melon. You eat slowly. You feel full without heaviness, and you stay satisfied longer. Think about digestion. Melon is soft and easy to break down. For people who experience bloating, gas, or irregularity, especially in later years, melon is gentle on the stomach. It doesn't create pressure or inflammation in the digestive tract. Instead, it moves smoothly, helping to regulate bowel movements without being harsh. That's an important advantage, especially for those who no longer tolerate raw vegetables or coarse grains well. Now let's talk about circulation. Many older adults experience poor circulation in the hands, feet, or legs. You might feel your fingers tingle or your feet swell by the afternoon. These symptoms are often linked to salt retention, dehydration, or inflammation. Melon helps counter all three. It contains potassium, a mineral that balances out sodium in the body and encourages the release of excess fluids. Less swelling, better movement, less discomfort. You may have also noticed days when your skin feels tight, your lips dry, or your energy dips, even though you've eaten. That's often due to mild dehydration and lack of micronutrients. A small serving of melon can address that quickly. Because it's easy to eat and enjoyable, people are more likely to consume it without being reminded or forced. That means better hydration without effort. There's also a subtle mood effect. When we eat something fresh, colorful, and naturally sweet, it lifts the spirit, not just emotionally, but neurologically. Melon contains small amounts of magnesium, which plays a role in calming the nervous system and improving sleep quality. For people who feel anxious, restless, or struggle with nighttime waking, this kind of gentle support adds up over time. Now imagine a typical morning. Many people reach for toast, jam, or sugary cereal. These are fast, convenient, but ultimately disruptive choices. They give a spike of energy followed by a crash. What if, instead, you started your morning with a small bowl of melon and a sprinkle of cinnamon? Cinnamon has been shown to help regulate blood sugar and enhance insulin sensitivity. Combined with melon, it makes for a breakfast that's light, calming, and metabolically smart. Or picture the mid-afternoon slump. It's 3 p.m., and you're craving something sweet. You walk into the kitchen. You could grab packaged snacks, but you've prepared ahead. A container of cold melon cubes is ready in the fridge. You take a few pieces, sit down, eat slowly. You feel refreshed. The craving passes. And unlike a candy bar, there's no crash coming later. Even before bed, melon has a place. A small amount with a few almonds provides a gentle combination of carbohydrates and fat that won't disturb sleep or blood sugar. It's enough to prevent waking up hungry, but not so heavy that it interferes with digestion. That makes it an excellent choice for older adults with lighter appetites or sensitive stomachs. What about those who enjoy variety in texture or flavor? Melon can be blended into smoothies with cucumber and mint. It can be added to salads with feta cheese or grilled chicken. It can even be frozen in small cubes and eaten like tiny fruit popsicles, especially helpful for those who don't drink enough water or dislike plain fruit. Melon also pairs well with protein. Eating it alongside yogurt, cottage cheese, or a handful of walnuts slows down digestion and balances out the natural sugars. This kind of food pairing helps maintain blood sugar stability, while also making the meal more satisfying and complete. If you cook for yourself or a family, melon is also easy to prepare. No peeling tools, no cooking required. Just slice, cube, and store. It keeps well in a covered container and is easy to grab throughout the day. That kind of convenience makes healthy eating more likely to happen. You might be wondering, is it okay to eat melon every day? The answer is yes, if it works well with your body. A cup a day is usually safe and beneficial for most people with or without diabetes. Pay attention to how you feel. Do your joints feel better? Is your digestion smoother? Are your cravings lower? Your body is giving you feedback. The key is consistency. Not extreme amounts, not eliminating other foods, but finding a rhythm that supports energy and comfort. If you have a small amount of melon in the morning, or use it as a snack and you notice more ease in your day, that's a sign to keep going. Melon is also budget-friendly. Compared to some so-called diabetic-friendly snacks, which are often expensive and processed, melon is affordable, especially when bought in season. You don't need a special diet or branded food to support your blood sugar. You need whole, real options that your body can recognize and use efficiently. There's a kind of wisdom in choosing foods that are simple, gentle, and supportive. Melon doesn't claim to be a miracle. It doesn't promise dramatic results overnight, but it offers steady help in small ways that matter. It supports hydration, digestion, circulation, energy, and even mood, all with a pleasant flavor and an ease of preparation that fits into real life. So, while many people have been taught to avoid fruit because of its sweetness, it's worth asking, what kind of sweetness are we talking about? Natural sugars from whole fruit are not the same as processed ones from cookies or soda. Melon brings sugar the way nature intended, with fiber, water, and nutrients to go with it. That balance is what makes it safe. While melon soothes and refreshes like a cool breeze on a warm day, plum enters the picture with a different kind of strength, quiet, compact, and surprisingly potent. Where melon calms, plum activates. It doesn't flood the system. It tunes it. And for those living with diabetes or simply seeking better digestive health, less inflammation, and stable energy, this little fruit may be one of the most underestimated tools in the kitchen. Imagine standing in front of a fruit basket. The apples catch your eye, the bananas look familiar, but nestled quietly in the corner is a small plum, deep purple, red, or yellow, depending on the variety. Its skin is smooth and taut, like a sealed promise. You pick it up. It's light, modest. But the moment you take a bite, you realize it's more than a snack. It's a signal to your body that help has arrived. Let's start with blood sugar. For those managing diabetes or prediabetes, not all sweetness is the same. A sugary pastry will spike your blood glucose and send it crashing down an hour later. A sweetened drink will enter your bloodstream like a storm. But a plum, it takes its time. The sugars in plums are paired with dietary fiber, which acts like a gatekeeper, slowing the absorption of glucose. This helps prevent sharp spikes and keeps your energy levels more even. Think of your bloodstream like a road. A sugary snack is like releasing hundreds of cars all at once. It causes traffic, chaos, stress. But a plum, thanks to its fiber, releases those cars slowly, one at a time. The road stays clear. Your insulin system doesn't panic, and your body responds with calm. But the benefits don't stop there. Plums contain polyphenols, natural compounds with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. You can think of polyphenols like tiny firefighters moving through your body, putting out the small internal fires caused by stress, processed foods, or aging. Inflammation is at the root of many chronic conditions, including type 2 diabetes, arthritis, and even cognitive decline. So by eating a plum, you're not just enjoying a fruit, you're inviting in helpers that reduce internal friction, especially in joints and blood vessels. Ever felt that stiffness in the knees when standing up? Or a dull ache in your lower back that won't go away? These are often signs of low-grade inflammation. While a plum won't replace medication, it adds to the long-term strategy of reducing those discomforts naturally. Now let's talk digestion, a common challenge as we age. A sluggish digestive system can feel like carrying around a heavy backpack. You eat, but you still feel full hours later, or worse. You feel bloated, stuck, or uncomfortable. Plums are natural aids for this. Their skin contains insoluble fiber, which helps move things along. Meanwhile, their flesh contains sorbitol, a natural sugar alcohol with a gentle laxative effect. It draws water into the intestines, softening stool and making elimination easier. Think of it like oiling the hinges of a rusty door. Things start to move again, not forcefully, but naturally. For those who struggle with constipation, especially common among older adults or people on certain medications, adding 1 or 2 plums a day can be a simple, effective support. Another subtle benefit of plums is their effect on cravings. In the mid-afternoon, many people experience that dip-low energy. Brain fog, the urge to reach for something sweet. A plum offers a clean solution. It satisfies the sweet tooth with far fewer consequences. And because it contains both fiber and water, it helps you feel full longer. The urge for cookies or soda weakens. You've satisfied your brain's desire for reward without setting your blood sugar on a roller coaster. Picture this. It's 300 p.m. and you're tired. You open the fridge, instead of grabbing something processed, you see a few plums you washed this morning. You take one, sit down, and eat it slowly. The texture is smooth. The taste is sweet and slightly tart. You feel more awake, not wired, not bloated, just better. Now let's dive into some lesser-known benefits. Plums are a source of potassium, which helps balance out the effects of sodium in your body. If you've ever noticed swelling in your fingers or ankles, especially in hot weather or after a salty meal, plums can help reduce that. Potassium signals your kidneys to release extra fluid. That means less puffiness, better circulation, and less pressure on your heart. And here's something even more impressive. Research has shown that plums may help with bone density. As we age, especially after 60, bone loss becomes a real concern, particularly for women. A number of studies suggest that plums contain compounds that support bone retention and reduce the activity of bone-degrading cells. It's like giving your skeleton quiet reinforcement, bite by bite. Now let's not forget the brain. Plums are rich in antioxidants, including anthocyanins, the same compounds that give them their rich color. These antioxidants help protect brain cells from oxidative stress, which has been linked to memory problems and neurodegenerative conditions. It's not that eating a plum will make you suddenly sharper, but over time, consistent choices like this help your brain age more gracefully. There's also the emotional side of eating fruit. Many older adults feel overwhelmed by the rules of food. No sugar, no carbs, no fun. But a plum is not a restriction. It's a permission. It reminds us that health can still be enjoyable, that sweetness doesn't have to be forbidden, that nature knows how to deliver pleasure without punishment. If you enjoy warm snacks or light desserts, here's a simple idea. Slice a plum, sprinkle a little cinnamon, and bake it for 10 minutes. What comes out is soft, aromatic, and comforting without added sugar or flour. It's a treat that supports your health instead of working against it. And if you're on the go, plums are incredibly convenient. No peeling required, no juice leaking in your bag. Just rinse and carry. That kind of simplicity means you're more likely to eat them regularly, which is exactly what makes them effective. Consistency, not perfection, is the path to better health, even at night, when you're looking for a light snack that won't spike your sugar or disturb your sleep. A small plum, with a few almonds, can provide the balance of natural sugar and protein that keeps your blood sugar stable until morning. And one last reminder: keep the skin. That's where much of the fiber and antioxidant power lives. If the tartness of the skin is too much at first, try pairing it with something creamy like Greek yogurt or nut butter. Over time, your taste buds adjust, and you'll begin to crave that slight tang. So while it may be small, and often passed over in favor of flashier fruits, the plum stands its ground. It doesn't need to be flashy. Its power lies in being dependable, versatile, and easy to love. Small, yes, but mighty in every sense that matters to your health. After discovering how something as small as a plum can carry such quiet strength, the next natural step is figuring out how to make these healing fruits a part of everyday life without stress, without strict rules, and without turning the kitchen into a chemistry lab. Health, after all, isn't just about knowing what's good for you. It's about making it work on a tired morning, during a busy afternoon, or in the quiet hour before bed. That's where simple, realistic recipes come in. No fancy ingredients, no complex steps. Just gentle, nourishing food that fits into the rhythm of real life. Let's begin with breakfast, the first moment you feed your body after a long night of fasting. Think of it like lighting a fire. You want a slow, steady flame, not an explosion. Recipe 1. Morning melon bowl with cinnamon and yogurt. Take a small bowl. Fill it with chilled cantaloupe or honeydew cubes, about 1 cup. Add a few spoonfuls of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt on top. Sprinkle with a pinch of ground cinnamon, optional. Add a teaspoon of chia seeds or a few crushed walnuts for texture. Why it works? This combination brings hydration, protein, healthy fat, and blood, sugar, friendly spice in one bowl. Melon cools and hydrates. Yogurt adds protein and gut, friendly bacteria. Cinnamon helps stabilize glucose response. It's creamy, sweet, and refreshing, but never heavy. Now let's say you prefer something a little warmer. Recipe 2. Warm plum and oat. Breakfast bowl, dice. 1 ripe plum and place it in a small saucepan with a dash of water and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Let it simmer gently for 3 to 4 minutes until soft. In the meantime, prepare 1/3 cup of oats with hot water or milk of your choice. Once the oats are ready, pour the stewed plum on top, optional. Add a tablespoon of flaxseed or a dollop of natural nut butter. Why it works? Plums offer fiber and antioxidants, and warm foods in the morning support digestion. Oats provide sustained energy and help regulate cholesterol. Together, this is a gentle, filling meal that supports blood sugar and gut health. Mid-morning or early afternoon is often when cravings hit. You want something sweet, but not too sweet. Something light, but satisfying. Recipe 3. Frozen melon bites. Cut melon into small cubes and lay them on a tray lined with parchment paper. Freeze for 1 to 2 hours, then transfer to a freezer, safe bag. When you need a cool snack, grab a few and eat them like mini popsicles. Why it works? This is perfect for hot days or when you feel thirsty but forget to drink. It satisfies the urge for frozen treats like ice cream without added sugar or dairy. Melon provides water, vitamins, and natural sweetness in a fun, bite-sized form. Prefer something with a bit more substance. Recipe 4. Plum and cheese plate. Slice 1 ripe plum. Pair it with a few slices of low sodium cheese like mozzarella or mild cheddar and a handful of raw almonds or walnuts. Serve on a small plate for an afternoon pick. Me up. Why it works? This is a balanced snack. Natural sugar from the plum, protein and fat from cheese and nuts. It slows digestion, controls hunger, and satisfies without creating a sugar spike. It also feels like a treat, colorful, flavorful, and varied in texture. Now let's move to lunch. Recipe 5. Melon chicken salad. In a medium bowl. Mix chopped, grilled chicken breast, diced melon cantaloupe or honeydew, chopped cucumber, and a handful of fresh spinach or arugula. Dress with a drizzle of olive oil, a squeeze of lemon, and a pinch of black pepper, optional. Sprinkle sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds for crunch. Why it works. This salad is fresh, light, and filling. The protein from chicken balances the natural sugar of the melon, while the greens support digestion and add bulk without heaviness. Olive oil helps absorb fat, soluble vitamins, and keeps you feeling satisfied longer. Looking for a side dish. Recipe 6. Cinnamon roasted plums. Preheat your oven to 300°. Slice 2-3 plums and place them on a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Sprinkle lightly with cinnamon and a few drops of lemon juice. Roast for 10 to 12 minutes. Serve warm or store in the fridge for later. Why it works. Roasting brings out the plum's natural sweetness. Cinnamon enhances the flavor and helps regulate blood sugar. This dish pairs well with oatmeal, yogurt, or even lean meats. It feels indulgent, but it's entirely natural. In the late afternoon, a light smoothie can be both hydrating and filling. Recipe 7. Cucumber, melon. Smoothie blend. 1 cup of melon cubes, half a cucumber peeled, a few mint leaves, and a squeeze of lime or lemon. Add cold water or a few ice cubes, and blend until smooth. Optional. Add a tablespoon of chia or flaxseed for fiber. Why it works. This drink hydrates deeply, supports digestion, and cools the body. It's especially useful for those who don't enjoy drinking plain water, but still need fluid. The flavor is gentle and calming, not overly sweet, and very refreshing. Need a dinner idea? Recipe 8. Grilled chicken with plum compote. Grill. A skinless chicken breast seasoned with rosemary and a touch of garlic. In a separate pan, simmer chopped plums with a bit of water and a touch of balsamic vinegar until they become soft and slightly thickened. Pour the plum mixture over the chicken just before serving. Why it works. This meal is rich in protein and antioxidants. The plum compote adds flavor and color without adding sugar or artificial sauces. It's elegant, simple, and supportive of blood sugar control. Evening snacks should be calming and blood sugar friendly. Recipe 9. Plum and almond, evening snack. Slice 1 plum and eat it with 5 to 7 raw almonds. Eat slowly. Drink a warm herbal tea alongside, like chamomile or ginger. Why it works. This combination of fruit and fat slows digestion and prevents blood sugar dips during the night. It's satisfying without being too heavy, and the routine of pairing it with tea helps cue your body for rest. And for those who enjoy something creative, recipe 10 fruit box snack prep. Once or twice a week, prep a few small containers with a handful of melon cubes, a sliced plum, a few pieces of cheese or hard-boiled egg, a small portion of nuts or seeds. Store these boxes in the fridge and grab one when you're hungry or on the go. Why it works. This ready. Made box takes the guesswork out of healthy snacking. It balances taste, texture, and nutrition, and helps prevent impulsive choices that might spike blood sugar or cause discomfort. The power of these recipes isn't in their complexity, it's in their reliability. They work with your biology, not against it. They don't require a lot of money, time, or cooking skills. They simply respect what your body needs: hydration, balance, fiber, protein, and small, stable sources of sweetness that don't trigger the alarm bells of your system. Once these combinations become familiar, they become habits. And habits, not dramatic diets, are what change long-term health. The goal isn't to impress a doctor with a strict food log. The goal is to feel better in your own body, day by day, meal by meal, bite by bite. By now, you've seen how easy it can be to make better choices, not by overhauling your entire diet, but by introducing simple, powerful ingredients into your day. 2. Day routine. From refreshing melon in the morning to a roasted plum in the evening. These are not extravagant meals or trendy superfoods. They're quiet, reliable options that fit into real life. But the deeper question remains, why do these small choices matter so much? Why spend time talking about fruit, hydration, and fiber when there are so many louder voices pushing pills, programs, or promises? The answer is simple. Because small things done consistently are not small at all. Think of your body like a garden, not a perfect one, but one that's been tended with love. Some days the sun is too harsh. Some weeks the soil gets dry, but with enough steady care, watering here, pruning there, it flourishes. The same is true for your health. You don't need to control every single bite or follow every new headline. What you need is awareness, intention, a return to the basics. When we talk about melon or plum, we're not just talking about fruit. We're talking about choices that align with your body's design, hydration that helps your joints move more freely, fiber that supports your digestion without strain, natural sugars that don't confuse your blood. These things aren't revolutionary, but they're effective, and they've stood the test of time. And when we create routines around these foods like prepping fruit boxes in advance or sprinkling cinnamon on your morning bowl, we're not just feeding ourselves, we're building trust with our own bodies. We're telling ourselves, you matter. I'm paying attention. If you've lived with diabetes or struggled with energy swings, joint pain, or digestive discomfort, you've probably been told more than once what not to eat. Don't eat that. Avoid this. Cut out sugar. Cut out carbs. But rarely does someone say, here's something simple you can enjoy. Here's something sweet that won't hurt you. Here's something delicious that helps. This entire journey from understanding the risks of processed sausage to rediscovering the gentle strength of melon and plum has one goal: to shift the focus from restriction to nourishment. To show that eating well doesn't have to mean giving up everything you love. It means choosing what loves you back. And what does that look like? Practically, it's having plum slices ready in the fridge when cravings hit. It's choosing melon instead of toast on a warm morning. It's preparing a small salad with colorful fruit, protein, and a drizzle of oil because you know that real meals don't have to be complicated to be balanced. It's knowing that hydration can come from food, not just from a bottle of water. It's remembering that fruit isn't the enemy, it's just been misunderstood. These shifts might seem small, but they ripple out in big ways. Your digestion gets easier. Your blood sugar becomes more stable. Your sleep improves. Your mood softens. You feel a little lighter, not just in your body, but in your mind. Let's pause for a moment and reflect on something many people forget to say. Your body is doing the best it can with what it's given. If you've ever felt frustrated, tired of rules, or overwhelmed by health advice, know this: you don't need to be perfect to feel better. You just need to be consistent and kind. The melon, the plum, the glass of water, the handful of almonds, these are not magic bullets. They are building blocks. And each time you choose them over something processed, each time you prepare a snack instead of reaching for a quick fix, you're adding another brick to the foundation of your long-term strength. And that's what this is really about: staying strong and living well. No matter your age or condition, you might still have days where your blood sugar fluctuates. You might still feel bloated or tired sometimes. That's okay. This isn't about eliminating every discomfort. It's about building resilience, so you bounce back faster. It's about creating a system inside you that feels supported, not overwhelmed. It's about being able to enjoy food again, not fear it. About recognizing that the wisdom of your body is real. And when you feed it well, it responds with clarity. Let me remind you of something that many people forget. Healing doesn't require drama. It requires consistency. You don't need a 30-day challenge about. You need a repeatable rhythm, like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. Let eating melon in the morning or plum in the afternoon be part of that rhythm. And for those of you who cook for others, your spouse, your grandchildren, your friends, these small changes ripple out beyond your own health. When a child sees a grandparent enjoying fresh fruit instead of packaged snacks, something shifts. A message is passed down, not in words, but in action. This is how we care for our bodies. And that's a legacy worth leaving. Maybe you've already tried some of these tips. Maybe you're just getting started. Either way, you're doing something powerful by simply paying attention, by giving yourself permission to eat slowly, to choose what feels good, to enjoy food that doesn't leave your body confused or inflamed. That's why we focused on practical recipes. That's why we highlighted the healing properties of common fruits. That's why we took time to explain how even something as small as a frozen melon cube or a warm roasted plum can make a difference. Because when you string together a series of good choices, even small ones, you change your path. One good choice leads to another. And then one day, your blood sugar looks better, your clothes fit more comfortably, your knees feel looser, your digestion improves. You didn't get there by restriction. You got there by gentle, focused action. So, as we close this chapter, remember this. Your health is not a finish line. It's a daily rhythm, a dialogue between you and your body. And every time you offer it something real, something water-rich, fiber-rich, balanced and whole, it responds with gratitude. Not with words, but with movement, energy, sleep, comfort, clarity. It's never too late to shift your habits. It's never too early to start. And it's never wrong to go back to the basics. Fruit, water, fiber, patience, attention. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed ways to stay strong and live well.